Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Remembering. Sorry for my absence last week. I had some commitments I think Rob may have filled everybody in on. But this morning, a very interesting show. We have Darius back with us this week and Robert Fletcher as well. We're going to start off with quite a funny story that's happened to Darius actually today, and we'll go into what's he been up to at the present time and everything that's been happening with him, as well as a bit from me and Rob's end. But Darius is going to be with us maybe halfway through the show, so what we'll do is we'll start with we'll bring Darius in first so we can have a chat to everyone. Darius, are you there at all?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you going?
I'm doing good. Basically, what happened to me today, it's a funny story, but before I start the story, I want to tell everybody is alike. Everybody wants to do the same things, even if it's your boss that you don't think acts the same way as you do, guaranteed it's the person that acts the same way, because everybody wants to be the same. Everybody wants love, prosperity, peace. Everybody's the same, but a lot of people are afraid to hide it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because even today, my boss basically thought, it would never do this. But today I was inside of a store, and it's where you sell like hookahs, so you can smoke weed out of the pipes and stuff. So it was a pipe place where you buy pipes and everything. And I went there. And I walked in and I was looking at all this stuff and just, minding my own business. And when I looked to the left of me, my boss is sitting there buying a pipe. And my first reaction is like, oh no, let's get out before, she catches me here and then she wants to piss test me and I'll get fired, and etc. So I stopped myself and I walked up to her and I said, oh, hey, I didn't know that you came here. And when she turns around and she knew who it was, she looked at me and she turned bright red, okay? And she was like, the only thing that came out of her mouth is like, are you still working today? I said, yeah, 10 to 6. She's like, okay. And I'm like, so what are you doing here? And then she said, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. I'm like, okay. And the whole time she's bright red, okay? And she was like, so you still working Monday and Thursday? And I'm like, yep, still doing that. And then she was like, it's not what you think. It's not what you think, Darius. And then as soon as she said it's not what you think, the guy that was selling her the pipe says, here's your pipe, ma'am. And then she looks at me and she gets bright red and she hesitates to grab it. She grabs it, she walks out the door, and it was the funniest story. And that's what I mean. People are afraid to be themselves. Like, people are afraid, what society's going to think of them, because society says it's bad, and they're going to hide, And
yeah, it's crazy.
Don't be surprised when your boss or an enemy that you call enemy is doing the same things that you do, that you like, But it was a really funny story. And basically what I've been doing this whole week, I actually graduated high school, but I didn't go to the whole where they give me my my diploma or anything.
Yeah, Rob, say congratulations.
Oh yeah, yeah, to get out the control system. But
yeah.
I
as much as you love education.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. See, the story about that is I didn't even go across the stage to even get the diploma. I didn't even pick it up yet. I have to pick it up at the school. The reason why I didn't is because school never opened up my horizons, because they tell you school is used so you can think outside the box. But when you think outside the box when you think outside the box on a test, they give you a slash and they say, okay, that's not good enough.
Yeah, they condemn you for it.
Oh, right.
Exactly. So, I mean, I find it my way when I'm not in school. When I wasn't in school, that I would educate myself more about life. School didn't educate me anything about life. I mean, yeah, it probably taught me math and how to read, but that was meaningless. That wasn't even true knowledge, So,
yeah.
In myself, I didn't feel that I should even walk across the stage that I didn't even feel proud of walking across the stage for. So I didn't. But yeah, that's basically it. And I moved into.
Do you want to? Were you going to touch on? I found out the name of the Avatar Energy Mastery Institute. If you want to touch on that if you want to start with that, or
Yeah. Yeah, today I was actually if you guys aren't familiar with Avatar Energy Mastery, it's you can look it up on Google online. It's basically these two guys. They teach you how to use your energy inside of you, and they teach you how to control basically your everything that's around you, your environment, you know. And it's very cool. And I watched the videos like 3 or 4 times, and just recently, because I'm having this big energy shift. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's very hard to explain. But like I felt very positive today, and I decided to try it. And in one of the videos, he shows you how to make clouds disappear and vanish into the air.
Oh,
so
sorry, Doris. Can I just jump in there?
Yeah, I know Rob's actually knows exactly what we're talking about now.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And he's had his own experience.
I've had my own experience with this, and I was driving along in a car with my wife, and after watching that video, I said to myself, okay, it was a sunny day, and there was like these little tiny clouds all over the place, like the wispy little ones. And I said, right, okay, I'm just gonna concentrate on that little cloud there. I'm just going to concentrate, and I am not joking you, right? I don't know how it happened, or I don't know what I did, but this cloud just started dissipating. I was just concentrating and putting my energy into it, and I was just saying to myself, concentrating about the cloud disappearing, just go. That's what I kept saying to myself. And I swear to God, before my eyes, this little cloud just disappeared. And I'm not saying that I've perfected anything. This guy was amazing. I tell you, he had some energy going about him. I tell you, you can just see the aura of this guy. It was just, yeah. So, you know, I don't know.
Yeah,
there's definitely some validity to that. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely. And it was a very, very strange experience, because you know, I said to myself, no, I didn't do that. And then I said to my wife when we got back home, I said, look, go out the back and just look at a cloud and just concentrate on it, and just say that it isn't there. Just say to yourself, you know, that cloud is just a figment of my imagination. That's what I started saying to myself. And it did. It wasn't there anymore. It was amazing.
Darius, I'll get you to touch on how you explained to me prior to the show what you were explaining how to go about with projecting that light and seeing yourself as a cloud. Did you want to touch on that? Because it's good. It's maybe with the intent that you have as well.
Absolutely, intention's king.
Yeah, with me, I mean, I guess everybody does it differently. But with me, I imagined what it felt like to be the cloud. Now, I imagined the texture of it. It's cold, you know, moist. And then I imagined in my head a ball of light. And I didn't look at it when I was doing it, because I can't look at things and do it. I have to close my eyes. And I imagined a ball of light right in the middle of the cloud. And I imagined that ball of light heating up like a sun. And I started to imagine what the cloud would feel like, dissipating and fading away. And I was concentrating on this for a good 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And when I opened up my eyes, there was a big circle right in the middle of the cloud, like a ball, and the cloud was disappearing. And it's something that everybody could do when they start to. I mean, they never expect things to come to you, because you go only water. It's like, for instance, all right, you have a plant, right? And you're praying for rain. You're like, oh, I want the rain to come so it could feed my plant. But you can only pray so much. But if you get up and just grab a water and pour it on the plant, it'll grow, because you did it yourself. You actually put physical action into it. When you start actually doing it and stop waiting for it to come to you, then you're going to see true. You're going to see it happening right in front of your eyes if you do it. And another thing I was practicing, what you could learn about more on Avatar Energy Mastery. I'll
put the link in the chat, Darius, as you're talking. I'll put it in now for that website.
Okay. Basically, he shows you too how to control wind, and he claps while he does it too. Right? He explains it more, but I wanted to try it by myself. And I was sitting down. And I was with my girlfriend at the time, and we're sitting down. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to make the wind blow to the right of our direction. So I imagined what it's like to be the wind, where it was coming from, because I wanted to blow to the right, and at the time the wind was blowing the opposite direction. So what I did is I imagined what it was like to be the wind, and I literally controlled the wind, and I made it go in a circular pattern, and I made it blow to the right where I wanted it to. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to make it blow in front of us. So I took the wind where it was, and I made it blow right in front of us. And it's just feeling. It's like, because everything is energy and everything is connected with energy. We are the world and the world is us. We are all connected. Everything is one. It's just learning how to connect with it. I mean, we really are using 100% of our brains. I mean, I think that they say we only use 5%, but I think we're using 100%, but we're not even practicing it. I mean, we could use 100% of our brains right now if we wanted to, but it's just a simple fact that we just don't do it.
That is exactly what is happening, I think, for a lot of people with this transition into what I'd say, well, I don't say, but a lot of people saying it's a 5D now. We're transitioning from, we're going to have to do a bridge between the 3D and the 5D soon. We're going to have to transcend from one to the other until everyone else is of the knowledge that they move into this new consciousness, because we as aware as we are the ones that are going to have to go along and just help people through that transition, because there's a lot of people on this planet today that can't tap into that yet, and they have it, and you are saying here, it's so right that everyone has this ability already, but we just don't know how to utilize it as we did millennia ago. I mean, people were doing amazing things with their consciousness and their energy thousands of years ago, and I think along the way we've actually lost that skill. It's like you see a lot of people in these tribal sort of forest villages. They've had knowledge for thousands of years, but it's been suppressed for them to transpose it to the Western world, because we're not ready. The collective consciousness is still going through a grieving process. I really believe that. And this is why I think I had a huge headache yesterday, because I had a bit of an experience with a phone call that I had that just sapped all my energy out of me with just one phone call. And it was just, I could feel, and I felt sick, and I had a headache, because someone was trying to draw that out of me, and I really believe that we're going to see this very, very soon. This is going to manifest itself to a lot of people very soon. And a lot of people aren't going to be able to understand it.
Well, it's happening right now, as we know, but even little things like when I post certain documentaries or videos about things that do matter because it affects everyone on the planet, like what's happening with Monsanto and genetic modification of all sorts of different foods, for how long they've been doing it. And I sort of sometimes I tag different sort of people that aren't so much into finding out what's going on, because they may be busy with their own lives. You can't really blame everyone unless they're really sort of negative against it. But even a few of them watched it and they were actually just blown away. They couldn't believe just something as simple that other human beings, like the corruption's evident. People do know, whether they can see it or not. They can just understand and know that it's there. But that we're changing the genes of food for different reasons, mostly profit and greed, and there's been no real studies on what it actually can do to the human body, and the ones that have been done and they have found out about, they keep under the rug because they know exactly what it's doing to the human body, because once the gene comes in to the human body, it changes it.
Well, I think we're talking about energy energy harvesting here. We're talking about
seeing how from them watching that, something like that, it sort of blew them out of the water, and now like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Now they're on their own little sort of journey, researching and finding out deeper into it, which always leads into greater and deeper things, course, definitely. Yeah.
But I think that is the key. I think we're under attack energetically, and it's an attack that's its last-ditched attempt to keep us in this paradigm, where there is no stopping this change, this new consciousness coming. There's no stopping it now, because it has been made aware, and a lot of people have actually been made aware of it, and it's a feeling, it's like an emotion. Because as I said last night, I was doing a bit of a conference call with a few people, and it was just the resonation of energy in that conversation. And I swear to God, I was welling up with tears in my eyes. It was just beautiful. It really was, to see a connection, even if it's only over the internet. I mean, people are talking, and I'm seeing things on Facebook now that I didn't see 6 months ago. I'm seeing conversations that people are having that are actually touching on things that they probably wouldn't have even talked about before. So you can see it manifesting right before your eyes, and it's just a matter of us grabbing onto that and really, really, really resonating with it. And if it doesn't resonate with you, then fine. You know, it maybe isn't your time yet. But I'm finding things resonate with me so much on a vibrational level, because last night I was having chills just because you can feel the love literally transcending in a lot of people. I mean, people can say they love people, right? But if you don't have the intent of love in your words, then you're never ever going to feel that emotion. But it's the intent of our emotions and the intent of our purposes in life actually take you to that place. Because a lot of people in this world today, I think, are struggling really with who they are and what they are meant to be doing on this planet. And I think it's going to come to a reality for a lot of people very soon that their role in this life is to love, and that's the only thing. That I think is the most important. Energy comes from love, right? Creation is love, because it can't be anything else. Because if it was,
if you didn't love something, you wouldn't be able to create
exactly. If you didn't love something and you put something in it that wasn't as pure as love, then it would just dissipate. It wouldn't manifest itself.
Did you want to say something, Darius? Were you there?
Yeah, no, I was saying, when the universe, I totally agree with you, Rob, but when the universe makes a conscious decision to change, since everybody is consciousness, everybody's going to change. And what I seen today when I was sitting down and I was playing with the energy and with the clouds and the wind, I seen everybody, because I live in Pennsylvania, I live down in Wilkes-Barre, like it would be considered the New Jersey, if you guys know what New Jersey or New York is. And I seen everybody acting the same. But I know deep down everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants love, peace, prosperity. But what I've seen today is people being influenced by society, by TV, if you guys still have a TV, get rid of it. Don't even watch it, because it's just there to basically brainwash you to make you act a certain way.
Of course, because TV acts on a frequency that actually dulls the brain's function. That's deliberately done. The colours they use, the frequency they use, it's as I say, it's a harvest. It's an energy inhibitor. That's what it is.
Another thing I'd like to sort of bring into about the television, like how there might be skeptics about when it comes to, we're talking about how you're practicing the energy techniques, Darius.
Yeah.
Which we'll have to definitely keep tabs on once because I know you just started and you'll be progressing with that, but how people can throw out the idea that that's possible, but just because television's there, and they actually can't see the frequency that emits through satellites and gets to your television, that's real. You know what I mean? How they can be for one and not the other, but it's the same principles when you come down to it.
Yeah. And like it was weird because what I seen today is people being influenced. Like I was watching cars going by. Everybody was listening to the same music, the same rapper. Everybody was dressed the same way, you know. It was like everybody was influenced by what they see in mainstream media or what they see in society. And what I feel deep down inside, everybody wants the same thing. To the point where if there was 10,000 people or 50,000 people around the world that all of a sudden decided to get naked and walk in the streets naked, everybody would follow that. Because now that's the norm of society. Yeah. Okay? So whatever's the norm of society, people follow because they don't want to feel like they're left out. If you have one person in a circle of people that are brainwashed and with the society. But one person speaking against it, they're gonna call. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, he's a hippie," even though they know what he's saying is right. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he's just a hippie. Oh, don't listen to him. He's a bum." All that. And even though they know it's right, since everybody's watching them, they don't want to be in the middle of that circle. Okay, so if you had thousands of people, hundreds of 50,000 people, just all of a sudden go outside and just be naked and walk around the streets, everybody would start to do that because it would become the norm of society. And right now, consciously, everybody is awakening. And right now, it's starting to become the norm of society. It's no longer, oh, let's do this and let's try to. It's no longer an egotistic world anymore. It's becoming consciousness. Is becoming the norm of society. Spiritual awareness is becoming the norm of society. All this is becoming the norm of society, and it's happening now. And the whole process was in 2012. The world's going to end. That was put people in fear, not to waste, but everybody is getting it, and it's starting to become the norm.
There's Dream Master in the chat. I'll read out his post. Let people be who they are. We are all on different vibrations. We all do share the same energy of source, yet we do vibrate different frequencies. Every day is interesting to witness. I do agree with that, where everybody's on their own sort of path and they're doing their own things and they're on their own different levels, and that's exactly the perfect way it has to be. Like if everyone was sort of on the same page, and it wouldn't be as beautiful as it is today with all the polarity. So, Dream Master, I have to agree. It's very, very accurate that everyone definitely has to be on their own path. You can't sort of try and sway someone or infiltrate and try and make them see, because everyone's on their own journey, and it's actually a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, Dream Master, you touched on a really good point there, because I know there is this. We all know the source energy, and it's reaching out on many different levels for a lot of people, many different levels of a journey that people are going through at the moment. And once we all come to that, I suppose that vibration that we're all looking for to resonate with each other, then I just believe, that we are very close to this. We're very close to people seeing things for what they are. Like literally, you can look in a mirror, you can see yourself, but is that really you? So what we're saying is that these vibrations we're actually experiencing, and a lot of people are. I mean, if you know you are, then you're on the right path. If you don't know you are, it's still happening. Yeah. It's not as if it's not there. So I believe, and I really am a strong believer that this time is very close.
Yeah, it's very important. It's very important.
I agree too, because for instance, it's just an example. Like if you're cooking a steak, right? You can't force a steak to cook faster. You could yell at it, you could thrash at it, you could be like, oh, cook faster, but you can't force a steak to cook faster than what it has its own pace. Some steaks may cook faster than others, but you can never force anything to cook faster, because if you force it, you're just going to ruin it. You're going to ruin the whole process of what they came here to do. But what I feel spiritually and what I feel inside is I feel that everybody is coming to the same awareness. It's no longer on different sides of the page. Like it's no longer like someone's on page 1 and we're on page 50. I'm starting to feel like everybody's starting to come on the same page as everybody else. Yeah. I believe that everything's become one again.
No, as I say, this is we're at the precipice of this transcendence. I really believe it. This is now the time. This time that we're looking at now in the age of Aquarius. This is the age of change. This is the age of revealing. And I mean, we look at a lot of people that actually have written about this thousands, millennia ago, and they all point to this stage of the consciousness transcending to a higher state, Yeah. And we see that. I'm resonating with people I've never even met before, and it's just amazing how that actually takes place, because we all know that energy is sound. Like sound waves. That's energy. You can feel them waves hitting you when it resonates with you on that level when you interact with people. Then that is the energy we're creating from them people. The energy waves are hitting us. So we fuel, that's our fuel, you know, to carry, to interact. So it's awesome, yeah.
You there, Darius?
Yeah, I'm here.
What I was going to say was Dream Master, who says, remember to coming into our remembrance as a collective, which is definitely happening. Slowly people are just starting to ask more questions. Even though I know with a government department here in Australia, Victoria, that collect revenue for fines for speeding or seatbelts or parking and that sort of thing, their revenues drop now. So many people are sending in letters and sending in complaints and looking for remedies because they're finding out that on the basis of how they're doing it, it's actually totally fraudulent, and they're not meant to be putting out these fines and that sort of thing, and unless the people do consent. And that's how they're making the money, because people are just willingly consenting to these, well, they're pretty much contracts. Because as soon as you get a speeding fine and you accept it, it's a contract, because you've accepted that, they accepted their terms.
Exactly. Now, like, what I like to say to people is, okay, as stupid as it is, put a seatbelt when you drive, okay?
Yeah.
Who said that you have to do that, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Just because it's a law. Who said that you have to do it? And unless you say, okay, it's a law, I have to do it, then you just gave them, you just consented with them. You made a contract, a verbal contract. Okay, you're allowed to do this to me. But if you say no, you're not going to give me a fine for not having a seatbelt on. No, you're not going to give me a fine or take me away for not having a license. No, you're not. Who said that you have this power over me? You know, no one has power over you unless you give it to them. It's really that simple. If you have, for instance, if you have the stickers that you put on your garbage, right, and you're in like a neighborhood and they say, okay, you have to put stickers on your garbage this day, or we can't pick up your garbage. What would happen if everybody put out their garbage that same day and didn't put a sticker on it? Do you think they're going to fine all those people? They're not, because then they're not going to fine all those people. But if you did it individually, okay, if one person didn't put a sticker on it and everybody else did, they're going to fine that person, and everybody in the neighborhood is going to go against them and say, okay, yeah, you didn't put a sticker on, we had to, and all that. But if you don't give them power, if everybody starts doing the right thing, then how are they going to have power? It's the few controlling the many.
Is that something that's actually happening, or is this... with the stickers on the bin?
No, that's not something that actually happened. That was actually, I got that off of what was his name?
Okay.
David Icke. David Icke gave an example like that.
Yeah. I was going to say that's.
Isn't that quite exciting about David Icke and his TV show? I think that's a great idea. I mean, giving people a voice. You know, a lot of people are looking for an outlet. I mean, we've all got these little shows we do in the radio shows and stuff like that. But I think if we can all of us participate. So I mean, we're sitting here talking, doing a radio show, but other people out there are wanting to get involved, and I think that would be the key. That would be the key to unlocking people's minds, to get them involved, get them participating in the change instead of just sitting back and watching it.
Yeah, and see what I want to do too is I'm actually gonna sign up for Avatar Mastery. What I'm gonna do when I learn more of the stuff, because I'm just starting to. I mean, I always did it with the straw in the bottle. I always did that because my Uncle Bobby actually taught me that, and ever since I was 14, 15, I think it was, I was doing that, and I kept doing it. But now I'm going to put my full attention into this, and when I start learning it to a point where I could do it at will, then I'm going to go out in front of people, in front of the neighborhood, go out where there's big groups of people, and I'm going to demonstrate it in front of everybody.
Nice. Yeah,
and they're going to say,
that's awesome.
They're going to be like, oh, you're a magician. I'm going to be like, no, you could do this. And then I'm going to explain to them how they could do it, and I'm going to help people along. And this is what people need to be doing.
I don't think you know how much of an inspiration you're going to be for a lot of people, and you already are. You know, you're doing things at such a young age that a lot of people wouldn't even resonate with. You know, and I just really commend you for that, because you're really tapping into yourself. You know, and this is amazing. I think there's a lot of people need to do this. and on their own terms. We can't obviously push anything like this onto anyone, but I mean, you're just doing amazing remembering, I would say. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, Darius. It's amazing stuff.
Thanks. And you see, Chris Angels, for instance, Chris Angels, he inspires many people with magic. But what if he came out and he said, "This isn't magic, and I'll show you how to levitate"?
Yeah. What's your understanding of what Chris Angel does?
I think what I personally think is I think Chris Angels is halfly awake. I think he's awake, and I think some of the stuff that he does is a trick, but I think most of it is because he's awake and he knows how to use his true potential, but he doesn't want to come out and tell everybody.
Yeah.
He demonstrates it to open people's minds because, like I said before, I said this, I don't know how long ago I said this, but when people believe that something's a trick, they influence your reality and they help you do it.
Yeah.
Okay? If you come out and say, okay, I'm going to do this, okay, and you didn't perfect it at will, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to do this, and people are saying, okay, it's not a trick, he's just a whack job, then they're going to influence your reality, and it's not going to come true. This is what I did with the card tricks in school. Remember when I explained to you, I'm like, okay, we're all going to do the 7 of diamonds. Everybody picked the 7 of diamonds, and we placed our hands on top of it. And I'm like, okay, this is just a trick. I do this all the time, and I never did. You know what I mean? I'm like, I do all the time. It's just a trick because I was letting them believe that it's a trick, so they could believe it to come true because they influenced the reality for it to come true. And we got down to the last 4 or 5 cards, and the first card they say, okay, yeah, I think it's this one. They flipped it over. It was a 7 of diamonds. I think Chris Angel says, okay, I'm going to do a trick so people could influence his reality so he could do things.
Yeah, it's very, I remember when I totally resonated with the show. I loved it, and I was aware that these things were possible, but deciphering whether they were tricks or not. But when you come down to it, and how you explain with your example, you can actually create the trick and make it real from the belief of everybody around you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because you can make, just by making someone believe something, you can make them see something that isn't there. You could blindfold somebody right now and say, okay, I'm going to give you an apple even though it's an onion. Okay, say if you have an onion in your hand, and you're like, okay, you're going to eat an apple. When they take a bite of it, they believe it's an apple, so they taste it. So when you get people to believe that something's true, it's going to happen. It's going to manifest. So I think when you say it's a trick, they manifest that reality.
This is why I think that this change that I think a lot of people are going through is the collective manifestation of what that is. I really believe that once we all resonate on that frequency that we all need to reacquaint ourselves with source or whatever you want to call that, I think then that will be the time when people start doing things that you read in the Bible. I really believe it.
Yeah, I'm going to see if there's a couple of callers and see if they're just listening in or not. But caller 336, are you there? Hello. Hello.
What are you doing?
Quiet, very quiet.
You there? I can just barely hear you.
Yeah, it sounds like you're very far away.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Rob. I think we're having
see if you can type through the chat because we're having difficulty hearing you. Hang on one sec.
We really want to take the call, but it's very hard to hear you, man.
And I'll put on caller 8082. Hello?
Hello, I'm just listening.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thanks for listening in.
Welcome.
How is everyone? Good?
Yeah, good, beautiful. And yourself?
We're great.
I'm good. I appreciate you all, and I'm just listening.
Beautiful.
Thank you
you
very much.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that source. That's a good conversation. Where, like, I've got a friend of mine who's Moroccan, and his belief is in Allah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, so many other people have their religious beliefs in different gods and whatnot. But sort of looking at these different belief structures and how these miracles happen, whether it's how we have this understanding of how everything is one and everything's energy, and what you believe you can bring into your life, you can manifest through understanding that the power is within you, and the belief is a real thing, and you can make anything happen. And then when you see other people praying, and they pray so much, and they actually do manifest those miracles that do come into their life, because the intent there is so positive and so real that they actually, and if there's principles, in my understanding so far, and I've got a lot to learn, but my understanding so far is that those principles, whether it's believing in a God or believing in yourself as a God, is they're pretty parallel in the
absolutely
in the outcomes, if you want to speak about it like that.
I think we're all capable of creation, you know.
What were you saying, Darius?
Oh no, I was just saying. Speaking of about religion, actually the girl that I work with, she's very into Christianity, and she was telling me a story, and she was saying, okay, yeah, everybody was in her church, and there's this guy that was crippled, and this one guy came over and he touched him with his hand and he walked, and it was a miracle. And she was like, yeah, God is my savior and all that. And I really wanted to tell her the reason why that guy was able to move, because I wanted to tell her, I wanted to say, hey, the reason why that really happened is because you guys collectively believed that it was going to happen. You guys created that you manifest that, and he manifests that too. The guy that was crippled, he manifested by believing if he gets touched by this guy, then God's going to give him the power to walk. He manifested because he believed it's going to happen. When you believe something that's going to happen, and you have a group of people believing the same thing, it's going to happen. No matter what, it's going to happen. And I wanted to tell her, but I didn't want to cause, because I worked with her, I didn't want her to cause any friction, saying, oh, yeah, the reason why that happened is because of this, and then she would be like, oh, Jesus is, you know what I mean? She would go on and on and on. But I find it better when you run into people that are really stuck into one belief. You can't, when a belief is, when you tell somebody the truth and they have a belief structure, when you tell somebody the truth, their belief structure either gets attacked, they feel like they're getting attacked and they put their shield up, or they run away. And a lot of the time I give them like little information saying, okay, well, it could have been this, and then I give them a chance to think, and when they start thinking, their belief falls apart. Yeah. And they start to believe a different way. But
Darius, I'm going to bring in Dream Master, who was chatting with prior on his input. I'm going to bring him in, see if it works now. Dream Master, you there?
I'm here.
Oh, I can just hear. Wonder
yeah,
why that.
We're experiencing quite an audio sort of glitch here. We've got some really quiet people. We can just hear you. So
you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead. We should be able. We can just hear you, so it should be fine on the recording, hopefully.
All right. Well, thank you for bringing me on, gentlemen.
No worries. Actually, the audio is picked up and it seems better now. Just before you start, I'm Emilio, and
I'm Robert,
and Darius.
I'm Jerry.
And Darius.
And Jerry?
How you going?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear now.
All right, Emilio. You guys do wonderful work. All right. First time I called, and
awesome.
And you have always attracted me to your show.
Beautiful.
You know, the way you present and express is beautiful, and we, speaking of humankind, really need this kind of expressions, right? With a show like yours. And
beautiful, man. It means a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here.
No, do you know what? Here's the thing that I sort of always try and let people know is it's everyone at the same time, because if you weren't here talking right now, then you know what I mean? It's everyone's input. It's not always like, and I don't know you know that, but it's always everyone at the same page, sort of working together, remembering all the different things that have happened and are about to happen.
Right.
You by being here, Dream Master, you're having the experience that we're having too. So we would love to share whatever we would with everyone. You know, this is not something we're saying we have knowledge of more than anyone else. I mean, we all have this knowledge, and I just think we're just trying to share our experiences. And I thank you very much for your kind words, mate. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for that.
I totally agree. Thank you. Really helps.
Yeah. At the same time, when you gentlemen speak, it's words that need to be expressed for people who are really wandering right now, right? In regards to the energy changes, right? And how they go through their daily lives. This is a big thing, right? Your network is 5D, right? And a lot of people don't understand that or grasp that. And when you express this, it's so beautiful. And I myself, I witnessed a lot of changes in human consciousness, and I witnessed a lot of actions and decisions that people make on individual bases within themselves. And when I'm looking at this, witnessing this, I see people that are still stuck in 3D. I'll say that, and paying their bills, worrying about the grass, their pets, the whole bit. That's fine. That's all good, right? And there are others that are, thinking on the sidelines, per se. Something's going on here, and it's not really 3D. This is different energy, And when I speak with, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, Dream Master. I was going to say that this. I believe that this is our transitioning from the 3D to 5. We're going to have to have this bridge for a while, I think, and until, as I said earlier, until we can really show people that this manifestation, I would say, that is coming in front of us already. I think it's just amazing the amount of people now that are really tuning in. They were tuned out for a while, but they're tuning back into the frequency of the universe.
Yeah, not just that, but even for the people who don't sort of are just sort of starting to get into it, just remembering, like me and Darius and Rob were talking about before with the seatbelt example, just remembering your rights, you know what I mean? Like, why are you adhering to someone you don't even know just because they have a badge if you're doing no harm to anyone? Yeah. It's crazy how out of control things have gotten.
It's conditioning, isn't it? It's a conditioning from a very early age to adulthood, and I think that's going to be the hardest transition for a lot of people. But it's going to be something that we, as well as you, Dream Master, are going to have to help people get to that stage. And this is all about.
Yeah, Darius?
I'm sorry. I was going to say, Dream Master, you were talking about when people are in 3D. They pay their bills, worry about their dogs, and cut the grass. I find that when people do the same things for such a long time, paying the bills, feeding their dog, going to work, coming back, watching TV, doing that circle over and over and over again, they begin to realize that something isn't right. And then when they have that awareness that something isn't right, then they start to look for other things to give them comfort. Because people in the 3D right now that are paying their bills and feeding their family and cutting their grass and doing things that they've been taught to do ever since they were little, they're doing that because it comforts them, because they feel that's the only way that they get, And when people start to get sick of it and they're like, I'm sick of doing this, I'm sick of working, I'm sick of cutting my grass, I'm sick of doing this, then they begin to realize that something isn't right. And then that little spark turns into a creation, and then they start to realize, and they start to look for other things to give them comfort, and then they'll start to look out, and then a lot of them will start to come to things like this: spirituality, awakening, and the remembering, and they start to find people like us that could give them comfort to tell them that everything's going to be okay. To tell them that what you're doing isn't. I mean, it's the right thing, but there is a different way. There's a better way. You don't have to work 9 to 5. You don't have to do this. There's a better way that you could experience life than doing this. Yeah. And I truly feel that everybody is starting to get sick of doing the same thing, and they're looking for other possibilities to give them comfort.
Right. Right.
Dream Master, if you prefer me to call you Dream Master?
Well, my name is Dennis. Officially, I was born with that. Dream Master is fine.
Nice to meet you, Dennis.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
where are you calling from, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm calling from near Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Right,
well, the internet brings us together.
It's so far away. It's awesome.
Yeah. And, right. I just want to share again. I know you have to close up pretty soon. It's just, a lot of people, this is just my observation, my witnessing of, humans, or what they're doing right now with the energies that are occurring, is a lot are sticking to their 3D because they're comfortable in that. Okay?
Yeah.
No judgment in that, but they're comfortable. That's fine. There are some that already know these energies that are shifting around, and that's wonderful. Beautiful to witness and to exchange energy with each other. And just in the last couple of years, even months, if you want to say that, there's a lot of people that are kind of like within that 3D that are wondering what's going on. Like there's something going on, they're not quite sure. They're grasping it that there's more than just human, right? It's more, and this is a collective. This is a sharing, and coming together. This is the quickening now. I've mentioned this.
Definitely the quickening.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I love that word.
Yeah.
Well, thanks heaps for calling in. Feel free to call in next week, and I'll remember your. Or even if you type in the chat, and I'll pull you in next week too if you're time to tune in. Thanks heaps for doing that, Dennis. Awesome.
All right, thank you for taking my call.
No worries, man.
Awesome for sharing with you, mate, and we'll
talk soon.
Yeah.
All right, peace out. All right, enjoy your weekend.
See ya, mate.
Okay.
You too.
All right.
That's great. All the way from Canada. As
I say, this. I mean, I'm sure when Emilio started the show, he didn't realise how many people would actually be listening, but it's growing every time. People are really, really starting to get interested in topics that they probably wouldn't even talk about before, and that's what I find quite interesting about all of this. The fact that you can, as I said to you before, you can actually see it in what people say and how people act now. You're seeing that little change. You're seeing that little spark starting to get hotter and hotter. So I find it's great.
I do have to thank. I'll let you talk, Darius. I do have to thank Mrs. Lisa Harrison, though, definitely for giving me this space on the 5D Media Network. I wasn't didn't have any idea about to do a radio show, and then when we had organised that meeting, and a few people flew around from the country to come to this meeting I organised along with Rob and a few others. She's like, you have to start a radio show, and I was like, what? But it's just been an awesome journey, and very thankful that we've had this space for everyone to collectively have an input and listen in. But feel free to chat to me or send me a message on my email, letter B, number 4, WEDY or my Facebook is Living Man, one word, with a souls, 2 words. Second word, I mean. Yeah, it'd be great. I always like the input and getting other people's perspectives on different things. But Darius, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I had to go, and I just wanted to thank Dream for calling in, and I wanted to encourage everybody to call in too, because it's not just us that needs to get this out to the people. We need to listen to other people's experiences too, because all of us are going through this process together. So we need a lot more people to basically tell us their experience of what's going on in their life, and maybe a lot of people could relate to that. But I'm gonna say my parting words, and I'm gonna go head out. But I thank everybody. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thanks heaps, Darius. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely entice everyone to call in and share their experiences, what's happening in their life in their part of the world. Definitely, because that's what the show's all about. And the number, I think the guest call-in number, depending on which country you're at, but we got here in brackets 646 and then 716-4598. So next week's show, feel free, if you've got anything to share, to call in or talk in the chat, and we'll somehow try and pull you in. But are you off to work, Darius?
Yeah, I'm off to work right now. I'm actually a little late, but I mean, it doesn't really matter, because what is my boss gonna say? I just caught her in a pot play.
That's awesome. I think the conversations are going to pop up when you have some one-on-one time with her soon.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, Darius, it's really great connecting with you again, mate, and we'll see you probably next week.
Yeah. Let me know when you talk to Bob too.
Yeah. I'm gonna be talking to him tomorrow. So I mean, I'm gonna if he shows me some stuff, I'm gonna practice it, and I'll share with you guys next Friday my experience.
Can you send him my regards, mate, and say I'm feeling him, mate. You're going to be quite excited. I think he's got something to tell you.
Have you seen him since
yeah.
he's back?
What's up?
Have you seen him since he's been back from Morocco?
No, he's actually coming. I think he's back tonight, because I was going to visit him tonight, but I have work. He said he's going to be back around 10, but I have to head out to go to work and everything, so I'm not going to be able to see him. So I'm going to see him tomorrow. And
beautiful.
He said that he has a lot to show me.
You're going to be. I think you're going to be
quite excited.
Quite excited, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
he
leave
was
it at that.
telling me about how his eye started to change colors, the color blue, and
Wow.
I thought, amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, a lot of things have happened for Bob, so we're sending all of our good energy to him, and just send our regards to him when you see him. All right.
All right. Yeah, I will.
Thanks, Darius.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll see you, Rob. I'll see you, Amelia. I'll see you next week.
Beautiful.
See you soon.
All right. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I just turned up my volume on my computer and I can hear myself. So obviously it's recording. I'm not sure if you guys are still there. Karen here, calling from Canada, Vancouver, Canada. Just had that other caller from Toronto, so I thought I would give a call in. And yeah, I did have a couple questions. So maybe I will try back next week, because it seems like I can't connect with you. Do I need to do something on my computer? I don't see anything. Yeah, I can't hear you guys. I have a website called expandingtimes.com, and I just wanted to find out more about posting some of these shows on there. And also I wanted to ask about, if we're leaving the 3D and we no longer want to work. We feel that is just not in our best interest. What do we do? I know the other caller was saying, that's a 3D experience, and I totally agree. And I can spend many hours a day and even days on end in 5D, but I'm still having to work. So I want to find that balance. So that was one of my questions. Anyhow, since I can't see you, maybe if you can connect with me through the website, that would be great, as I can't connect. Okay, bye.